Welcome to this explainer. Let's just jump right in, because today we're unpacking a massive, life-altering concept, the difference between simply earning an income and actually building true, lasting wealth. It's a pretty subtle shift in mindset, honestly, but it changes absolutely everything about your financial future.
So here is the central mystery we need to look at. Why do equal salaries create totally unequal lives? Imagine two guys. Let's call them Ravi and Samir. They wake up at the same time, work the same type of job, and pull in basically the exact same income. On paper, their lives are identical. But fast forward 5 years, and Ravi is totally stressed out at the end of every single month, while Samir is incredibly calm, secure, and has margin in his life. Did Samir win the lottery? No way. Did he get a crazy promotion? Nope. So, what actually happened here?
Let's break it down in part 1, the tale of two earners, and that crucial 5-year gap. It all comes down to a clear contrast in how they view their money. Now, they started on the exact same track, same rent, same bills. But Ravi lived by this one incredibly flawed rule. He thought, hey, if my income increases, my life is set. He just focused entirely on making more money. Samir, on the other hand, asked himself a much better, if slightly uncomfortable question. Where exactly is my money going? He didn't judge his spending, he just meticulously tracked it to see if anything was actually sticking around for his future.
That brings us to Section 2, fixing the leaky water tank, or how you go about closing the holes in your cash flow.
Because here's the thing, earning a high salary means absolutely nothing if you don't have a system to capture it. Picture your financial life as a giant water tank. The water pouring in at the top, that's your income. But right at the bottom of the tank are all these holes, which are your expenses, the necessary ones and the completely unnecessary ones. If you just focus on turning the tap up higher and pouring more water in, but you completely ignore the leaks at the bottom, well, that tank is never ever going to fill up.
We really have to redefine what we're aiming for here. Income is just the water entering the tank, but wealth is the value that stays, grows, and, this is the real game changer, works for you even when you aren't working. It is a fundamental shift from obsessing over money coming in to focusing on money being retained.
Moving right along to Section 3, Defense, Helmets, and Thieves. This is all about surviving financial crashes.
Look, before you can grow your wealth, you absolutely have to protect it. Samir knew his first move had to be building a solid defense. Think of an emergency fund like a motorcycle helmet. A helmet is never going to help you win the race, right? But when a sudden crash happens, like a medical emergency, or your car breaks down, or you lose your job, that helmet literally saves your life. Without an emergency fund, even a tiny setback turns into a massive high-interest crisis. You've got to protect yourself from the fall first.
Okay, so you've plugged the leaks and saved some cash. It's just sitting there safely. But wait, there is another threat on the board. Enter inflation, the invisible thief. If your money is just sitting totally idle under a mattress or in a basic checking account, this invisible thief is quietly working in the background, stealing the actual purchasing power of your cash.
To put that into perspective, imagine you have a box of your favorite chocolates. Over time, the number of chocolates in the box stays exactly the same, but every single piece is getting smaller and smaller. That is exactly what inflation does to your money. $100 today just won't buy the same amount of stuff 5 years from now. The bill looks the same, but its strength is shrinking. You actually have to proactively grow your money just to outpace this thief.
Which leads us perfectly into Section 4, offense. Growing the wealth tree through compounding, patience, and avoiding traps.
Once your defense is locked in, it is time to play offense. True wealth does not sprint, it grows. Kind of like a massive tree. You plant a seed today, you are definitely not eating mangoes tomorrow. It takes daily watering, sunlight, and a whole lot of patience. And you can't keep digging up the seed every 2 days to check if it's growing. That's compounding for you. Your original money grows, and then that new growth starts growing even more money. Plus, you need the right soil, which means diversification. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, because if you drop it, your whole financial future takes a hit.
But we really need to talk about the trap that completely derailed Ravi, lifestyle creep. Every time Ravi got a raise, his very first thought was, awesome, I deserve an upgrade, a new phone, fancier dinners, better clothes. Now, wanting nice things is fine. There's no problem with that. The trap is allowing every single raise to be entirely consumed by those lifestyle upgrades. If your expenses are rising at the exact same speed as your income, you are basically running on a treadmill. You're sweating, you're moving your legs faster, but you haven't actually moved an inch financially.
So, what did the 5-year outcome look like for Samir?
By dodging lifestyle creep, securing his emergency helmet, and patiently planting his wealth tree, Samir built productive wealth. He didn't become some billionaire with a private jet. Instead, he gained something way better: control. He bought himself breathing space. Active income is what pays your Wi-Fi bill today, but productive wealth ensures you don't panic when an unexpected expense pops up tomorrow.
If you take away anything from this explainer, I want it to be this exact quote. Income runs your house, wealth builds your future. Income is active. You have to trade your time for it. But wealth is protective and productive. It is the absolute difference between just surviving month to month and actually designing the life you want to live.
Let's wrap this all together in Section 5, 4 Steps to True Wealth. These are simple actions you can start taking right now.
How do we put all this theory into practice without getting totally overwhelmed? Here are 4 super straightforward steps. Step 1. Track your spending meticulously for just 1 month. Find out exactly where your water tank is leaking. Step 2. Start building that emergency helmet so a tiny trip doesn't become a hospital visit, financially speaking. Step 3. Automate your savings. Even if it's just a tiny amount, let compounding do its quiet magic in the background. And step 4, invest in your skills. Because honestly, the absolute highest returning asset you will ever own is yourself.
I want to leave you with a question to chew on today. Take a hard look at your financial habits and ask yourself, are you just trying to look rich today, or are you actually building true, unshakable strength for tomorrow? Remember, a tree isn't grown in a single afternoon. But if you never plant the seed, you are never going to have the shade. Start building your system, take control, and just keep learning. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one.